Welcome back to another Ninjago review video, and this is episode 6, I think. Fallen Wishes episode review. We're basically just gonna be talking about, just reviewing the whole episode like we've been doing for the last 5 episodes. After this, I have 4 more episodes to review. Basically, this episode, I'm gonna talk about the J part first. The Zetrix and J part was really nice, and I think it was handled pretty well. With Zetrix, obviously, I'm assuming Zetrix is either going to play a bigger role in part 2, or she's going to have some conversation with Jay about him failing his contract. Or, I'm assuming she's going to have a bigger role later on in certain seasons. Considering, last season, she didn't really have that much of a bigger role. She was just there and made, kind of argued with Raz, and then after that she kind of lost to Lloyd. That was her whole point in season 2, and she was obviously, I think, accused of stabbing people in the back at the start of the season. So hopefully in the season, later on in the season, she gets a bigger part or whatever, or hopefully ends up fighting her sister. Although if they fight too long, I honestly wouldn't know who's who, because they would look identical if they're wearing the same stuff, especially. That would actually kill me. Anyway, the whole point, the main bit about this episode, actually I'll talk about that in a minute. Lord Raz saying his whole mission is to cure the merge, and basically saying, oh my god, I'm here to cure merge, I alone can save them. We already know this. And he's Hammer's also a dragon icon, which a lot of people apparently theorized about. I didn't really see those theories, but yeah. And just all in all, great that Lord Raz is just, his motivation, supposedly motivation is to return his people to where they were and bring them back and all that. So that is what he says his motivation is. We don't know that, so all we can go off is what he said right now. So he could be lying to us, he could be deceiving us, or Eren per se, but that's all we know about. So we don't really know anything else than that. But I think that was handled pretty well. I don't think he's telling the whole truth, but I think he's telling the truth, maybe with a bit of lies. He probably does want to cure the merge, but maybe he does because he's serving a master. I'm assuming he's doing this all for his master at the end of the day. So yes, hopefully sooner or later we will see this supposed master of his. Okay, moving on to the main part about this episode is obviously the Ericon, new Ninjago and all that. If you guys don't know new Ninjago and you're a new Dragon Rising fan and you haven't watched the later seasons, it's basically season 6 is Ninjago, Jinjago. The old realm was destroyed, and then, Nanacon kind of built a new realm above Ninjago and basically made new Jinjago, and now they're doing it again, but from what it appears, every wish Ericon's able to grant, he's able to make his Jinjago grow a little more and restore his realm. I wonder if he's apparently the only Jin yet left, but I wonder if there's probably more out there or somewhere that no one knows of. For Ericon's sake, I do hope so, but yeah, I do like the fact that this episode reminds me a lot of Skybound. I think that's really cool. Skybound was obviously one of my favourite seasons, so just the fact that it reminds me of that is, perfect. I can't really ask for much from this episode other than that. They obviously, Ericon tricks the Forbidden 5 rocks to summon a ninja because she wished for it, and she summons the people who Ericon met in season 1, Nia, Sora, and Ryu to think, although I would argue Ryu isn't technically a ninja. I mean, I think he's pretty referred to as a ninja. Either way. Yeah. Honestly, that whole sequence, the whole battle and all that, and the whole rocks end up getting thingy, and it was really fun how he kept wishing left, right, and center. Really felt Skybound vibes from that. And Rox ends up getting it, and she basically just controls the ninja for a bit, and then she ends up losing it because Sora uses her text powers, and Ericon gets free. The Forbidden 5 obviously have the thing restored, so they just retreat and leave. Of course, Rox isn't the strongest Forbidden 5 member, but she's the smartest, I guess. Even if she basically could have got rid of the ninja, but she kind of just, treated it lightly. And honestly, Aircon in just general, I do like it. It reminds me of Skybound. That's the reason it's probably going to be higher on the rating. I also do love the fact that Kai and Nia are the ones to discover Thunderfang's history. We kind of know that. Well, we know Nia talked about it in the trailers, but I feel like it was really nice that Kai and Nia was the one to discover it. And then Sora ends up going back to Lloyd to basically tell them that Thunderfang is that what Nia told her, that Thunderfang is like they're trying to free Thunderfang. It is weird how it's like 6 episodes in and they just realised that they're trying to free Thunderfang. That does feel really weird, personally. So I don't really know about that. All in all, I think this episode was really good. There's obviously some bad parts, like animation-wise, it's really good. And I think there's certain bad parts, I would say. For example, there's thing like Sora ends up going back. Lloyd got teleported while Sora's looking at Sora got teleported while Lloyd was looking at his prismatic blade. She gets teleported back and it's basically the same image. Lloyd's still looking at the prismatic blade. I don't know, maybe time paused or something, or Lloyd just really likes looking for detail out of prismatic blade. Yeah, it's basically the same image. So yeah, that's pretty my nitpicking. I can't remember too much bad stuff about this episode, but I feel like it's maybe going off nostalgia for me because I like Season 6 and Nonicon, New Ninjago. It just really hits home. Season 6 was one of my favourite seasons back in the day. Still is now, because the villain personally and then the whole story was really great. It's a disappointment the character writing in it basically went scrap after, but at the same time it's a really good season and it's a J season to boot. So yes, this episode really hit home, and personally I think it is a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10 episode, not a perfect episode, but 9 out of 10, the whole J stuff, the whole Kai Nia find Thunderfang, the whole Raz's motivations, and Raz wanting to summon all 7 Source Dragons. I'm assuming this is his Master's Will or whatever. I do love all that. And the whole Ericon fight scenes were pretty cool. I will say Dareth ends up making an appearance, which Dareth is always a mixed thingy. People either hate him or love him. It's not really one or the other. So yeah, do with that what you want. There's been a lot of cameos in the season. Fugitive made an appearance earlier on in the season, which I didn't bother talking about, but yeah. Anyway, without further ado, make sure to subscribe and do all of that great stuff, because I'll see you guys next time, which will probably be pretty soon because I need to review episode 7. So yes. Anyway, without further ado, bye guys.